Hey guys, happy Wednesday, happy hump day. I know it's almost over, but I won't make this too long because 5 a.m. comes way too quickly. But there's a lot of things that I need to discuss. And you guys know I get it off my mind. But as like the rest of America, we've been obsessed with JonBenet Ramsey case again. And I'm sure a lot of you guys have followed it like I have. You know, I'm 45, so I was 25 when this happened. And I've, followed the case pretty closely. I never believed that Patsy had anything to do with it. I never believed John had anything to do with it. And I certainly never believed Burke had anything to do with it. And to this day, I still feel the exact same way. In the same fashion that I don't believe Ryan Hillegas had anything to do with her murder, cover up, yes, murder, no. So with that said, I don't know how many of you guys saw the A&E special, but it was so inconsistent as compared to the ID special. That bothers me. And let me tell you some of the things if you haven't seen it. One of the things that A&E special said was that there was no real handwriting analysis to ever prove or say that that was Patsy's handwriting. Well, in the ID, they even show the handwriting analysis girl. Well, it seems that she was ruled uncredible, and it was never determined that that was Patsy's handwriting. It was all media blitz. Another thing that I learned is that according to the ID special on part 3, which like I said, I will get to posting it. It's just 5 a.m. comes so quick. They went on to say how the DNA doesn't really mean that much, and nobody should be exonerated of a crime based on this DNA, especially touch DNA. Wow, that's interesting. And in 2008, when they used touch DNA to exclude Patsy and John and Burke, interestingly enough, they said that touch DNA had just started being used, and it basically was just introduced to that recently. Well, what I found most interesting about that is think about Avery. Think about how Avery Kratz used touch DNA on the car, and it was the biggest thing since sliced bread. Why didn't Buting and Strang or anybody know that touch DNA is the most unreliable DNA out there? Even in 2008, they knew this. So if they knew it in 2008, then they had to know it was new in 2007. It was like barely used in 2007, according to what I've read. And to this day, it's barely used. But what bothered me most is how, and I was totally joking about this yesterday, but you know what? It really wasn't a joke now that I saw part 3. And the reason I say it wasn't really a joke is because I really believe that Kratz used part of JonBenet's story to build Brendan's case. Sexual assault, strangulation, in seclusion. I don't know if she said she was wrapped up or anything, but there was just too many similarities. So either you have to conclude that A, Kratz is a sick fuck, which we know already, but you have to really conclude that he's violently ill, which I don't think he's a violent narcissist. I just think he's a sick fuck. You have to conclude that he made up this story out of the clear blue, which that would be a hell of imagination. Or 3, he took it from somewhere. Well, why not take it from the biggest fucking story of the time? Well, Kratz being a narcissist, and I'm not saying this lightly, he is a diagnosed narcissist. This is proven. So being that he's a proven narcissist from his own peers, his own, lawyer, shrink, or wherever you want to put it, is that he wanted that fame. He didn't want the whole world looking at Colorado. He wanted that fame. Except Colorado couldn't get a conviction. They didn't even know where to start with Patsy and John or with JonBenet. Well, 3 months later, now we got this huge investigation. This huge, high-profile case right here in Manitowoc County, Wisconsin, or wherever you want to put it, Calumet. Oh, sorry about that. I'm tired. But my point is that he got it from somewhere. And he certainly wanted to be the big shot. When what Colorado couldn't do, Ken Kratz was going to do. And I know some of you guys think I'm crazy for making the comparison, but I'm telling you guys, it's fucking real. There were too many things point to it. So what blows my mind, though, is how many of you think that Patsy and Burke did it. And I know some people in the group, by the way, we're adminning, me, Laura, and Trish are adminning a group, I don't even know if that's a word. We admin a group that Trish started called JonBenet Ramsey Case. It's on Facebook. Come check us out. You can join if you want, unless you're a hater. We're not allowed haters and trolls. Or no fake accounts. But it's really, I mean, Trish started a couple days ago, and it's blowing up. We love it. It's a great group. So anyway, no drama. Totally drama-free. It's all about the case. All right, that was my plug. But listen, all right, seriously. Let me get back on track here. Told you I was tired. So when I watched the A&E special, and I compared it to the ID special, and I started seeing all the different inconsistencies, it so reminded me of Stephen Avery. And if we didn't have MAM, guess what? Every one of us would think Stephen Avery was guilty as fuck. And I don't understand how you guys are doing the exact same thing that Kratz wanted the jury to do. You're automatically blaming Patsy and Burke based on Burke smiling on Dr. Phil, or them hiding the fact of, Burke. Well, you can't say what you would do because you don't know what you would do if it was your kid. And you may want to hide your other child. This was a very wealthy family with a lot of money who really cared about public perception. And that public perception was that everything had to be perfect. So they didn't want to see crying. They didn't want to see people, just bashing them. But the cops were just as guilty as they are in Manitowoc. They have tunnel vision. Nobody is guilty but Patsy. And it really makes me sad that so many of you believe this, that you believe Patsy did it. It's based on nothing. It's literally, you guys are basing this on nothing but shit that we heard in the media. And I'm not downing you for it. I'm not saying that you're wrong. We don't know. But just think about the Avery case. It's the same thing. And it just, like, listening to after the third episode tonight, there was a part, oh my God, I couldn't believe it. They went on to say that they went on to say that DNA should not exclude somebody from possibly being guilty. Really, motherfucker? Tell someone that's exonerated that. They said that DNA should not be the sole reason why somebody is exonerated. Really? Last time I checked, you can't argue science. And they said that in either this episode or the other episode, that you cannot argue science. You can argue opinion. You can argue a lot of things. You cannot argue science. Another thing that I didn't know, another thing that I didn't know until tonight was that the grand jury actually wanted to indict them. Gee, what a shock. But the DA wouldn't do it. And if not for the DA, Patsy would have died in jail. That's fucked up because they just wanted to convict somebody. what they went through is exactly what Kratz didn't want to go through. Kratz didn't want to go through what JonBenet Ramsey went through and not knowing whatever happened to her. We still, 20 years later, have no idea what happened to JonBenet Ramsey. And to be honest with you, unless Zellner finds out, we have no idea what the fuck happened to Teresa Halbach either. What we do know is that it wasn't Stephen Avery and Brendan Dassey. What we also know on JonBenet Ramsey is that it was not Patsy, it was not John, and it was not Burke. Science has proven this. So anyone, including my girls that I love to death, anyone that thinks that Patsy did it, John did it, or Burke did it, get it out of your mind. And anyone that saw Dr. Phil, I totally get that Burke is off. Still hot, but he's off. Why he was smiling through the whole thing, don't know, couldn't tell you. But I don't think it means he's killed his sister violently. I mean, they said this was a heinous fucking crime, like horrible. Did you guys see the pictures? It was awful. Stun gun, burns, nails, everything. I mean, horrible. There is no way a child did this. It's just impossible. And then to laugh about it. And the reason why I know that it wasn't a cover-up from John, if it was a cover-up from John and Patsy, they would have never... Stop! Hey! Damn dogs fighting. They would have never told the police that they broke the window, that John had already broken the window. If it was a cover-up, they would have totally let it go. You guys know it. I know it. So next time you think, oh my God, they're so guilty, I really want you guys to think of Stephen Avery, because it's the exact same thing, and I cannot stress it enough. And I'm going to post a video in a little while. It takes a long time, so I'll probably do it tomorrow. But I wanted to get this out there because it's just, I have a lot of questions. I really, truly do. There's too many questions unanswered. And too many inconsistencies between ID and A&E. So the A&E special was really, really good. I still have 10 minutes left to watch it, but from what I've seen, it was really, really good. So that's what I have for you guys tonight. I wanted to kind of break up my copyright infringements. But I hope you guys enjoyed the last two. I'll post the other one later or tomorrow. And that's it. So if you guys have any thoughts, please leave it in the comments. I have to go let the dog out and try to get to bed at 11:30. And that's all I got. So I'll see you guys tomorrow. Peace out.